Okay, as you can see here, we are well on progress to up potting all of our apple grafts for this season. We did about a total of 7 varieties on a couple of different rootstocks. We had some G11s and some G890s, and they've been in these tall tree pots, and it's time to get them something bigger to live out the rest of the summer, and something that can grow some more roots and deal with a little bit less frequent watering. And so let's pot one up. So this is our last guy here. We've already done all the others. It's one of the best ones we've got. He's very, very healthy. This is a Liberty apple on a G890 rootstock. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to get him out of this tree pot. We're going to knock all this bedding soil off. This is a 50-50 mix of coconut core and perlite, and they got a little bit of a dose of Osmocote when they went in here just to help them grow a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is take them to our big bin. There's no reason we can't reuse the coir and perlite. It doesn't have any remaining organic matter in it. I mean, yeah, there's probably a little bit of root hair and stuff in it, but not much. And so we can reuse these for our next bit of potting. So we want to take these and really break it up. We're going to take the tag off and get that ready to go on our bamboo stake. And I'll show you what the root system looks like. All right, so this guy did really, really well, which is not surprising when you look at the canopy that we had on this guy. Now, I do see a couple of tiny ants going up and down, and you can see actually if we get underside some of these leaves, you can see some evidence of aphids. So another reason we want to get all this soil off here, it helps us get rid of all that. So in here in our bin, we're just going to really kind of aggressively tickle the roots here. We're trying to get all of this coconut core off. We're going to put it into a more permanent medium. And it's always a good idea if you can manage to get an opportunity for these roots to breathe a little bit. You can get them a chance to do some other stuff and to really spread out in the new medium. But you also want to be careful and support them while you're doing this, because the weight of the organic material surrounding the roots is really what can pull the roots off. And so I'm laying it horizontally. I'm not trying to pick it up too much until I know most of the, so I'll start to pick it up and I'll feel the weight of it. And if it still feels too heavy, I put it right back down and really give it another good tickle. Try to get so much of that off before we pick it up. Okay. That's actually pretty good. That weighs hardly anything now. And I'll get a little bit more off. You can still see it's kind of falling off. Let's take a look at the graft union here. The graft union is looking really good. It's broken through the parafilm, so I'll probably go ahead and take the rest of that off since it's already broken open. That'll help it from doing too much more damage to the bark itself. We'll take the bark off. We don't want the parafilm to permanently fuse to the outer layer of bark, so we'll take that off. We'll get the rest of this organic material and we'll get it up in our potting mix. Okay, so here's another look at that graft union now that I've taken the plastic off of it. You can see it's pretty well calloused, pretty well healed all the way around. Here's our root system. Nice and bushy. We don't need to get every last little bit of perlite off of it. We got almost all the cocoa core. The perlite's inert, and so we don't worry about that. We worry about the cocoa core because it's organic. We don't want organic material right up against the root system because we don't want organic decomposition to happen around the roots and create rot, as that's what creates root rot, is organic decomposition in the root zone. So we're going to use an inert, inorganic potting mix here. This is based on Gary Matsuoka's Top Pot. It is made from peat, pumice, perlite, sand, and charcoal. What we do with the charcoal is we soak it in a fish emulsion so that we can charge the charcoal. If you're going to add charcoal to your potting mix, you need to be really careful because it'll hold on to nutrients. And so if there aren't already nutrients in it, it will take those nutrients from somewhere else, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to pot this up and stake it and water it in. Now that I've got it mostly stable, that can sit on upright by itself, I'm going to inoculate the root zone with some mycorrhizal fungi. Mycorrhizal fungi can live in a symbiotic relationship with your roots and actually improve the way your roots uptake nutrients. A little goes a long way, and that's probably more than I needed. Hard to do with one hand. I'm holding the phone for the camera. But this is just a product I got at my local garden supply store. It's just a mycorrhizal fungi. All right. Symbiotic fungus and bacteria. With that in there, we can continue to pot up our apple graft here. All right, we're pretty well settled in, so we're going to add, just before we do our last little layer of soil, we're going to add a little bit of Osmocote. We shouldn't have to feed this again until these go into the ground, which will either be this fall after they're dormant, or we might wait until spring, depending on how the yard preparation is coming. We're getting a lot of stuff done in the backyard. And so a lot of it will depend on kind of where we are in that process, whether it'll go in the fall or the spring. So more or less straight, not perfect, but that's okay. We're going to add our stake with our tag and water in. All right, we got our tag there on our stake. We're going to water this in. We just want to make sure it's good and soaked through so we get a little bit of a puddle on top. Now, this will only hold as much water as the peat that's in it. That's only about 35% peat. Everything else is some form of inert material designed mostly for oxygen flow to the roots. That's what we're primarily concerned about. So you're probably going to water a little more often with this than you would with some other soils.